Okay, so let me give you a topic, and we are proceeding ahead with the group discussion. And the topic for the discussion is I'm going to give you, and the topic is World in 2050. That is a topic. So I'm writing it also. World in 2050. So very briefly written, but open to your understanding, open to your ideations. World in 2050. World in 2050. So think over it, and then we started. World in 2050.
Good evening, sir. Hello.
Yeah, Nikita.
Sir, actually, I was disconnected at that time. Please, can you please repeat the topic?
Yeah, the topic is World in 2050.
World in 2025.
2050. 2050, yeah?
Oh, okay. Thank you, sir.
World in 2050.
Okay.
Okay, now I open the house for the discussion. Please proceed ahead now.
Good evening, friends.
All my
My name is
friends,
Aniket.
my name
I
is
am glad to
Krishna. I would like
introduce
to
the
initiate
topic.
this
And the
topic.
topic given today is World in 2050. And I think this is a very interesting topic, friend. We can have different aspects on to discuss on this topic. Like we can discuss on technology, on robotics, artificial intelligence. We can discuss on economic development of our country as well as other country also. We can discuss on environment, what is the impact of changes on environment, because we are living in this environment only. So this is very interesting topic we can discuss here. I think everyone has definite good points to discuss on this topic, so I invite all of you to participate in the discussion. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Aniket, for the brief description of the topic. And I would like to initiate the topic by telling about the various advancements that we might be getting and facing, mainly the technological advancements. And also, we would be getting the improvement in all sorts of infrastructure like medical infrastructure, educational, healthcare, and even the normal utilities. And like my friend Aniket, you just said about the environmental impacts, I would like to put light on the government initiatives like net zero carbon emissions by 2050. This initiative was taken by Denmark, and following that, Indian government has also taken some initiatives and have very much putting forward many plans for the reduction in the carbon emissions. As we can see in the recent technologies, they are trying to put up the electric vehicles and electric buses, everything on the roads, so as to improve the environmental impacts. And hence we can conclude from this that we might be getting very good future in terms of the environment. And not only that, there will be the education and healthcare facilities are improving day by day. And it won't be wrong for us to assume that by 2050 it would be at a very fast rate. And considering the recent advancements in robotics and every other thing, it would be very beneficial.
Right.
Yes, I
You are
completely
you are
agree with my friend. Like I here want to add that like many of the countries are now moving working towards sustainable development. Like in the future, like by 2050, like we will be covering the means whatever the present literacy rate, it will also be increased. And also poverty line, which is now like many of the persons are the poverty line. So in the poverty line also by 2050, major of the countries will be improving in that time. So the industry, whatever present is there are majorly like good development in the industries like converting of to ethanol, like these kind of development are also going on. And another thing is that many of the like countries decided that net zero carbon should be achieved. Like we have Bhutan is already achieved carbon negative. So many of the countries now like net zero carbon, like further countries are also developing in that direction.
Yeah, and uh, in the future, I can see that technology will change our life dramatically. Like we will be popular with smart house where we can function our house with by just voice speech recognition, or even we can go to a coffee shop where waiter are robots, and men factory will be automated with with a robot and no more workers.
I think in
right.
world
Right, Tom.
2050, automation is going to play a very vital role. I think that in 2050 we can see that because of this automation, that machines and the technologies can replace lot of human manpower. So I can see
Uh,
that this also that but
right,
after every
Saksham.
invention, we can see
Right.
that a lot of other job opportunities can also we can
Increase.
see will
Yes,
increase.
yes,
Because
yes.
I would like
Yes,
to tell one
yes,
story that before
But there
in
is.
1980s,
Hmm.
when the computer was coming in the bank industry, so everyone was worried about that in bank will going to reduce the manpower, and it will take the replace the manpower, and it will going to reduce the job vacancies. So but after see right now we can't imagine our bank industry without computers. So I think that this automation also is give will be giving the lot of opportunities in 2050.
yes, I completely agree with
From
my
economic
friend.
point of
Like
view, I
here
want to add
I
one
want to.
point. Like India is now a developing country, and
Intelligence
I
will play
hope
a major
and
role
we hope till
better today
2050 India will
because
be a developed country, and for
Yes, yes,
development
Nikit,
of
I
our
totally agree with
and
you. And if you allow me, I would like to get on with it. Like you just now said, economy will be boosted, and especially there will be improvement in the per capita income and overall improvement in the lifestyle of every individual. And
right.
like
We are I think fifth
now just now
fifth.
said
We
about
have
the smart
we have
gadgets.
we have
I was saying that like smart gadgets she just mentioned, then it is already there. So by 2050, it would enhance to such a level that holograms would be a real thing, which is just a conceptual nowadays. And so that by the help of holograms, our communication would also be increased to a much greater extent that we just only imagine nowadays, or we see in the science fiction films. It
Yeah,
would be like the science fiction films would be becoming the reality. That's what
I think
yes.
in 2050
yeah,
most
Yes,
of
This
the
is
yes,
this
I
is
jobs
completely.
will be
this
replaced.
most of the
You may be right, bro.
One point
You may be right,
not
my
only
friend.
as a peoples are struggling in this agriculture sector, like by the world 2050, like we will also be moving towards organic farming. Like recently we have seen some of the countries moving towards
but what will
organic
be happen
farming.
in 2050?
So yes, this is means due to organic farming,
Yes.
there will be a work life of this, the candidates will be decreased, and also like we will move towards automation, like in this agriculture. So there
Yes,
will
sir.
be drone technologies, and also these are the further developments is going to be added in the further 2050.
Yes, Bhanu, you are correct, saying that it's correct, but I want to add that point that I think automation will play a major role in every sector because all the things will go automatically, and I think human intervention will be reduced too much, and artificial intelligence also it will play a major role. For most of the works
Yes,
will be replaced by robots.
yes. Here I want to add one more point. Like automation is important because like automation is very important because in like a risky factor, like in the defense, where people can't able to do that kind of thing. So automation is very much required. So in that,
I think, friend,
like many other countries are moving in that direction because it is also one of the factors like we need to improve on this basis, like technology.
Right,
Yes,
right,
I would
Manu.
like to take your point further, Bhanu. Just like you said, there will be automation and there will be improvement in the agricultural sector. You are absolutely correct. But one more thing which we are missing right now is there will be more improvement in wildlife as well. We in a way, in a sense, that we might be able to overcome the problem of extinction by 2050. And there are many species which we are not able to protect right now due to many environmental conditions like global warming, as we all are aware of. Hence, by that time, since the environmental impact we might be able to achieve at a very good level, hence we might be able to protect some species of plants as well as wildlife. So that thing is also
I
there.
think, friend, we should also discuss on environment concern, like growing technology and developing the things. I think it is impacting our environment also. So till 2050, we should discuss on what is the impact of these things, technology and automation on our environment.
Yes,
Right?
Aniket, that's what I am saying, that we might get the opportunity from the learnings that we might have done so far, and we do things sustainably so that there won't be any more damage while creating any new things.
Yes,
Or
and
like
for that we are working on renewable source of energy, right? Like solar energy, wind energy, we are working on that.
As we are, as I have said, that sustainable development is also one of the factors. So not only in that, like we will like in the education sector also, like India has like implemented this new policy education. In the education also, like we will be going to be reaching very heights, like modern technologies, modern infrastructures, modern computer-based systems. So modern technology of learning will also be improvement in the further factor of this 2050.
Yes, I think also in 2050, all building management system also will grow very highly because today we are going towards automation. So I think most of the building system will be automatically, like most of the sensors will be there automatically, door opening or closing, or a high level of security will be there. And I think building management system will be grow very.
I think we should discuss on life, our life, like what is our life at till 2050,
aspects,
right?
And
Like
environmental too, since we are living post-COVID. So every country now are focusing on develop their economy. So they might put aside their environmental strategy. I mean, they don't care much about environment. And even we are living in the situation where energy security is at risk. So it's now that many countries doesn't like prioritize environmental protection, but they need to focus on economy and energy, and even the war in Ukraine also play a role too. So I think that environmental will be a problem in around 30 years to come.
Yes, I completely agree with you. But like many of the countries now now they are implementing towards net zero carbon emission. Like recently, Bhutan has completely decreased its carbon neutral, or it has totally come down to carbon negative.
right,
Other countries are also implementing on this perspective. Why? Because our environment should be very clean. So this is a main aim, and also due to which there will be a reduction in the global warming, and also we can preserve our natural resources. So
But
this,
what
many
is
countries are
happening?
working on.
One. You are right.
Actually,
You are right,
since
Vanu.
we are talking
But
about our
we are Indian. India is can't be
improvements in
compete
all
like Bhutan. Like we are
Yes, yes,
developing
yes, yes.
country, and
Yes, we are developing country.
Bhutan is a very small country, and it has mainly economy based on tourism, not on factory and industry. But we can't have
Yes,
only based on tourism. We have factory and
yes,
industry.
yes. I want
We
to add
can't we
that,
take only
like,
0% carbon emission.
yes, yes, means like we are heading towards this carbon. Like we are now we
Yes.
are moving towards electric vehicle. So it will by 2050 there may be chance that we can move towards that kind of direction. It will be a healthy environment.
Right. Our Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi has ambition to achieve zero carbon emission till 2070. So till
Yes, yes.
2050, I think 80% that can be reduced.
And
I
also,
think
like I was saying,
and
our CMDs are also decided that net zero carbon in India is achieved by 2046.
I think in 2050, the most world will face environment problem. I think the pollution will be very highly polluted environment. So we have to also focus on that area also, because if we
Yes,
are
yes.
if our health is good, so then only we can take all the facilities and we can utilize that now. So also we have to focus on the environment also. We have to focus on the saving water and like all the resources which are natural. So we have
And
to
maybe
preserve it.
I think maybe till 2050. 2050 we can we can land on Mars, and we can resident there also. This can be also possible.
Interesting. Yeah,
Right.
and
From
actually,
here,
can
I
be
I
possible,
can see
like-
a
see
change.
that in 2050, in the two sector, in the health sector and in education sector, in these two sections, the improvement is sure. And I can see that in 2050, our surgery, our this technologist can make our surgery more easier in 2050.
Yeah, and
We
people
can able
are
to
more aware
we can able
than
to do the surgery from the telemetry also. And I can see, and I have read in some articles that scientists are working on to get the cure of the very severe diseases, and also our scientists are working so that we can expand the lifespan of a human. So I can see in 2050
Like,
there is a very exponential growth in the health sector as well as in education sector also, as we have seen that after 2050 we have seen a drastically change in our education sector, because everyone came on the social media platform in YouTube and other social media platform, and
Yes,
we
yes,
can
yes,
see
sir, yes,
everyone
sir. Yes, my
everyone
friend,
from any rural area can get the knowledge from the top education, from the top educators. And I can also see that after this also there are some area where we need to improve in our education sector, that
like
Right, Saksham.
I want to say one point.
Recently our
right
Prime
now,
Minister Narendra Modi
let me
launched
complete this.
5G
Right now,
generation,
right
fifth
now
generation.
we are not.
So till
See, many of the country is also improving towards their sports sector. Like in China, we have like more amount of medals in Olympics. So like India is also moving towards direction, like in order to good build their infrastructure in the sports curriculum activities. So they may get in that direction by 2050 they will get more medals in Olympics. And not only in India, remaining all other countries also where the people get less medals. So in the sports sector also there may be a huge improvement in this infrastructure by 2050.
Right, Manu. I want to add one point. Recently, our Prime Minister Narendra Modi has launched 5G generation. So till 2050, we can expect a 10G generation also, 7G generation at least.
Must also think
Right.
about
That will.
communication.
Let me complete my point, Punit. I am telling that our Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi has launched fifth generation recently. That we come into picture, right? And I think till 2050 we can have seventh or eighth generation at least. So till that time we can access the things very easily, like we can have video calling, but we can now at that time we can have very fast video calling, we can very clean and very good things, like
Yes.
getting my point.
Yes, I
Yes,
agree,
exactly. The
agree with my
education
friend. Yes,
sector will
exactly, I agree
definitely
with you.
improve.
Like,
Communication sector would definitely improve, and we might even get the satellite communication, and even space communication would become a possibility, which is
Right, right,
very,
Mm,
very difficult nowadays. And we
yeah.
right.
might even, since 2050 is like 30 years gap, and since we are increasing at a very fast rate, we are developing at a
Mm.
very rapid scale. So it won't be wrong of me saying that we would explore the space very far
Yeah.
extent that we can't
But
even
you guys,
imagine.
it's predicted that an economic crisis is coming. So do you think that the crisis will impact the 30 years to come? Like
No, no,
any?
Thao, I don't
Mm,
agree with you on the economic crisis, because in every year, every era, there is a economic crisis, and since we are capable of thinking, we come up with lot of ways to improve that and overcome that obstacle. And hence, that's why you can see from that straw houses, or from like living under the trees, we have come so far that we are living under skyscrapers. It's not like we were not facing any economic issue that time, but since
mm.
we worked on it, worked on the issues, since we are getting problems and we have the ability to solve them, that's why we are improving at a very fast scale. That's
I
what
think in
development is
yes,
all
2050
like
about.
also
here I
villages
want to
will,
add one more
I
point.
think
Like
I
many
think
many of the
in 2050
like during this COVID-19, like many of the countries are hit with very dangerous. So like many of the now countries are moving, means they are taking implementation on this, like what are the infrastructure regarding these medical equipments. Like further, if any of these kind of diseases will going to occur, now our country is, means various countries are ready for their, in order to protect from that any kind of bad diseases. So like many of the countries, like India is there. In India also, we will produce lot of medical equipments and we will supply to other countries. So
Right,
other
right.
also, they are also improving in that direction, and also it will be heading towards, means it will be going to be increased by
and
2050.
I
Yeah,
think that
Like,
in
From
exactly.
economic
villages
point of
in
view, I want to add
2050,
one point. Like
and
we
I
are
think
now
in
fifth in
2050,
the world position, and till 2050 we can be in top three country, and we can be developed country also in till 2050.
Wow, that's
but now
amazing.
today we are going through.
Talking about the healthcare, nowadays even some AI did like replace the doctor. I mean, AI can diagnose any disease that you can have, just you be at home and using your smartphone. So it would be amazing to think that in the next 30 years to come, there should be a big movement in the healthcare where you can like AI can replace doctor in some regular cases.
Yes, you
Right,
are
right. It
absolutely
can be
Like
correct.
health
it
sector,
can be possible, right?
like
Because
health
now
sector.
you can see the consultations are going on online only, and whatever the reason may be, because of COVID or anything, you can see like basic things we do the online consultation, thinking that after 30 years we might achieve the AI technology so advanced that it can diagnose even the complex diseases so far in our
Yeah,
body.
nice.
Yeah.
And
I
I
think in
guess I do
2050,
see that people have been more aware of their health nowadays. They're going to do yoga. They change their diet into a more healthy one. Like they go with vegetarian, vegan. Yeah.
Yeah,
So I
improvement in
look
all
at
sorts of things are happening. Absolutely, you are
yes,
absolutely
yes,
correct.
improvement is
Please
going
continue.
in every sector, and I think, but nowadays the villages are too much. They are not developed. So I think in 2050 the villages of India they will
Right,
develop,
right,
and
right,
infrastructure
right,
of
Siddharth,
the
right.
and
yes, yes, yes.
villages
Not only India, like
will also develop.
Okay, friend, okay, friend, I
overall.
want to add some point
I think
according
from
to
Here,
political point
like
of
here, I
view.
want to add one point.
I want to
Like Siddharth
add with
said,
my
Some
is
friend
exactly
point,
correct.
negative advantage
like
from
Rural areas should be well developed. There should be
yes, 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 Vanu.
connectivity to
Like
them, because like not only in India, like various parts of the country are also facing these kind of challenge. So by 2050 also, what are the rural areas present in this, it will be totally infrastructure developed, not only in the connecting internet, and also like infrastructure like schools, colleges. These also be implemented in the near future.
Yes, yes.
right, right.
Most of the things
I
are not given to the
I
village. So I think
right.
infrastructure
Like
will
India
slowly
is, I think 70% has rural infrastructure, right? So till 2015, if we talk about this time, many places has a very less accessibility of many resources. So we can hope we can work on that, like till 2015 we every places in India can access everything, every technology, every health facility, education facility, right?
Yes, yes. In
Yes,
this,
yes,
I
yes.
want to add one more point.
Okay.
As we have reached far in education industry, but there are some possibilities of improvement in education. I think that internet and this all these things has reached to the rural areas, but something just like we are not able to do practicals online. So I think in 2050, I can see with the help of robotics and AI, we can able to do the practicals of the
Yeah.
education also in 2050. So
Yes,
I
yes,
think
yes, I agree with you, my
I
friend.
am very
Like,
hopeful with this.
yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Right,
I
you're right,
completely agree
Asisam.
with you,
So
friend.
I'm
Like
agree
how
with you.
about
recently,
the chance?
India has also recently launched a new education policy system, like 5+3+3+4. This education policy determines that the totally conceptual and totally observative and also totally technical related, through which the people will be totally become technical, and they can from the small classes onwards only they will be able to design their own work and also their own activities. So this is the one thing I want to add, because by 2050 means from 2013 it will go to 2050, this education policy will be in the highly demanding manner.
Yeah,
Right. I want to add with my friend, like India today, like Indian education policy is somewhat oriented towards theoretical study, as our friend told. And we can hope that till 2015 we can be on a study based on practical education also, like what is going in practical manner, like in engineering also we are studying like the things which get obsolete now, but we are studying these things. So we can hope that in 2015 we will study the practical things which are actually going on in the industry.
Today we are, yes, yes, today we are developing this.
like the VR glasses, as you all must be aware of. By 2050, I believe VR glasses would take a very big leap and incorporate with the holograms. So that will not only help in purpose of entertainment but studies as well. We can see in 3D the models of structures or machines, whatever it is, and in terms of elementary education itself, we can see many different kind of experiments going on through the VR glasses, VR headsets. So it won't be wrong to assume that VR headsets would improve a
Puneet,
very
Puneet, can I ask one question? What is VR?
virtual reality,
Okay,
Mr.
okay, 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 okay. Thank you, thank you.
Yeah, yeah. The 3D classes, you can just assume 3D classes or virtual reality things.
Okay.
Virtual
And
gaming, you must have heard about virtual gaming headsets.
here I want to one point, like as we are like
Yeah, yeah,
moving
please.
like in the world 2050, like many of the person, like not only in the education sector, there may be a various opportunity for every kind of people. Like he can be wanted to move in the, like he wanted to go in the movie direction, or like he wanted to in the sports culture. So by 2050 all this like infrastructure in the movies, like in the sports, and people may be heading towards not only in the education sector, like moving towards the sports sector, and also moving means in the movie direction. So in also, like many of the countries are implementing on these means on this aspect. Also many countries are giving infrastructure and also heading more amount of money on this. So
I'm agree with you, Banu, but I want to
people
mention,
can choose any kind of.
I want to mention that, Banu, there is too much poverty in the world also. In every country, in every part of the country, there is too much poverty. But I sure that in 2050, the poverty will be eliminated, I think, because each and every person will get an opportunity to get good opportunities and jobs, so that I think the poverty will be eliminated in 2050.
Okay.
Right, Siddhant.
So
Yes,
I
yes,
think
I'm agree with
now,
you.
Yes, yes.
now I think we go for conclusion. So I come to each one of you, and you have to tell me any two things which you think will be there in the world in 2050. 2050, any two things which you think will be there in 2050. I start with Bhanu.
This opportunity to conclude. On the behalf of the team, I want to conclude, like by 2050, the world going to be in the more technological way, because like in the technology, like we are moving towards automation, and also in the medical equipment will also be developed, and also whatever the electrical means, we are moving also to zero carbon means environment will also be decreased due to this. Like meaning of this also become carbon negative. We will be moving in this direction, and by world each and every aspect of the society going to be improved in infrastructure and also in other aspect. Sorry, sir. This is I want to conclude.
Okay, Siddhant.
Uh, uh, Thank you. Thank you, my friends. After our discussion, all of us has given your points, and on the basis of your points, I can summarize that yes, in 2050, the world will change drastically, and due to artificial intelligence, I think most of the work will be replaced by the robots, and I'm also sure that the villages which are not under development today, it will be developed as compared to cities, and I'm sure that the poverty we will work on the poverty so that everyone can live a good life in 2050. And I think in 2050 technology will play a major role to eliminate all the problems and to live a better life for the humans. Thank you.
Okay, Tao.
Thank you. So we did have very heated discussion, and we reached consensus on many points. But to me, two major points that I can see in our life in 2050 is that firstly, the automation, the AI, will play a very important part in our life, and secondly, there would be a big shift in the global power. I mean, between the super nation.
Okay, right. So, Saksham.
Sir, as we have discussed as we have discussed on lot of topics, and in which we are going to see in 2050, yes, like economical, in terms of economical, in terms of health sector, in terms of automation tech sector, in terms of education sector. So, but according to your question, what you have asked, I can able to see two things which will be there in 2050. First, I can see that our education sector is going to improve, and we can able to do the practicals. We can able to do the practicals of the studies in future remotely. And second thing, I can see that our scientists or our doctors can able to find the cure of severe diseases like cancer and all, and we can also optimistic optimistic that we can find the some medicines or something that we can expand the life of humans. These two things.
Puneet?
Yes, sir. From our meaningful discussion that we just now carried on, I perceived two major important things: that there will be improvement in terms of almost all kinds of sectors, be it education, be it healthcare, be it anything. Even the individual lifestyle of every person at a household level would be improved at a much greater way as compared to now. And sir, other thing is that since we have learned from our past mistakes, so improvement, that whatever we will be doing would be a sustainable improvement. Hence, it won't be degrading our nature more badly. And the other thing is that communication, I believe, would become very better in a better form than now. And I believe hologram technologies would play a major role in communication as well as education and entertainment sector as well.
Okay, Aniket.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, friends. We have very fruitful discussion, and on based on our discussion, we have comes to the point that world in 2050 will be definitely very different from today's life. And in 2015, we hope that automation and human intervention automation will be more, and human intervention will be less. The first thing I want to add, and the second thing I want to add, that the improvement in agriculture sector will be very much. Thank you.
Okay, so let me now give you the feedback. Each one of you who have talked about this is an interesting topic actually, and it is topic worth thinking in future, based upon your reality perception and vision for the globe in 2050, 30 years down the line. So 30 years down the line, there will be opportunities, there will be challenges. So maybe, I mean, you need to give some kind of structure to the discussion. So friends, the topic given here is 2050. So 30 years down the line, we need to see from our perception what kind of world we are going to have. So that largely depends upon what kind of world do we create actually, because it will not be created by anybody else, but it is to be created by us. So technology is moving at fast pace, no doubt about that, and world has to be a better place. So friends, let's divide this entire topic into two main categories. Number one, what do we think will be the opportunities in the world, how we can say this will be a better place, and what can be the challenges if we face in world in 2050, opportunities, challenges. And friends, I think we should divide this entire topic into certain categories. Let's talk about from perspective of environment. All of us know what is sustainable development goal, and we want to attain these by 2030. So 2050 means 20 years down the line, sustainable development goal, and we talk about net zero carbon stuff, that is somewhere around 2070 or something. So let's talk about what do we think will be the environment, global warming, climate change challenge, which globe is facing. So Earth is facing this particular challenge the most, and I think we should talk about this under the category of challenge. Then friends, we should talk about how the technology is going to evolve. We have seen past 20 years how the internet has changed the way we live today, the way we communicate today, the way we work today. So computer was a revolution, and then internet was a revolution. Today we talk about IoT, we talk about artificial intelligence, we talk about machine learning. How do we think in 2050 these things are going to be? That is a technology category, and automation, everything which is sort of robots, technologies, and everything, 2050. Then friends, let's talk about our health. I mean, what kind of health do we think we are, life expectancy, health we are going to have it. Let's talk about the divide among nations, developed countries, developing countries, least developed countries. So how do we think this gap is going to be bridged? So if we want to have a better place, world, globe as a better place, do we think, I mean, world is going to be equally fair for people across the different nations, developing, developed, least developed countries, and something like that? Let's talk about that. Also, let's talk about our, how do we meet our energy requirements, because presently we are thinking that we cannot depend upon fossil fuels, and we all want renewable energy sources. So let's also visualize in 2050, shall we totally independent from our dependency on fossil fuel, and we will be using the renewable energy sources? If yes, what kind of renewable energy sources? Friends, let's also talk about geopolitical stuff, like relation between various countries. We know the countries are divided nowadays. I mean, there are some kind of clashes going on, some kind of, so what kind of global order do we think under United Nations umbrella? What kind of global order do we think that there will be? There you can put up, there you can put your individual stuff, like you can always say, maybe in the permanent member of United Nations, the Security Council of United Nations gets expansion, and new countries like India gets a place in that, because to represent the humanity, because India is going to be the most populous nation by that, because we are going to exceed China in that. We are going to be the most populous nation, but can we find the place in the United Nations Security Council? Something like that you can talk. 2050, I mean, visualize education, health, how these domains are going to be. Education is going to be truly global phenomena. We talk about during COVID, we started educating on online. So is it possible that the students in India are studying with professors world over, and vice versa? I mean, we are getting that kind of education, more and more interaction among students and teachers globally. Same health. Are we going to get telemedicine stuff? I mean, are we consulting the doctors in different part of the world? Okay, I want to take a consultancy from a doctor in Japan. I want to take a consultancy from a doctor in England. So that kind of thing is going to be. However, communications, however, this communications are going to change. What kind of communication we are going to have. So on different heads, we should discuss this entire topic. As I told you that if you make a structure of whatever you want to discuss, things become pretty easy. Otherwise, you are wandering here and there. Otherwise, you are giving very relevant points, but you don't know where these points are to be put. So create the structure first, create the skeleton first, and try to put the things. So what comes to my mind is skeleton is opportunities and challenges. Now in opportunities and challenges, environment as of now is a challenge. Renewable energy sources, it can be a challenge. Relation among various nations, it is a challenge. Socio-economic background of the people, I mean their poverty in this world. So what are the various challenges this world is facing as of now? Poverty, environmental stuff, international relations, relation among various countries. These are the challenges. Do you think we will be overcoming these challenges? What are the opportunities? Technology is going to offer you opportunities. Health and education and other things are going to offer you these opportunities. So how do we think this is going to change? So that is all what I think should be discussed. And now let me tell you what you guys have done. Aniket initiated the discussion and he said environment. So Aniket, you could have talked more about environment, that as of now we know global environment is undergoing particular phase. So we want the environment to be more cleaner by 2050. That means 30 years down the line. Puneet talked about some infrastructure, education, health, infrastructure and all. He said future is going to be good and per capita income is going to be increased. He talked about hologram. So communication he talked about is the way it is going to change. Bhanu said net carbon zero. Tao said, okay, smart houses we are going to have, speech recognition we are going to have. We are going to get more and more robots. So work of humans is going to get reduced. Maybe the manual work or the, it is going to be more automized. So something like that. No workers will be there in some domains. That is what she said. Section said automation is going to play a role. And also Bhanu also talked about the environment. So this is how most of you people have talked about, which I could list some of the points. More or less you have talked the points, but only one point, like you could not make a structure of this discussion, which was the very, very important thing. And as I told you, if you talk about some structure, that friends, I want to bring your attention to international relations and United Nations. What do you think is going to be the relation among nations? I think Thao was talking about relations also among various countries. I mean, they are right now at this country. So what kind of relation is going to be? Something like that you can always think of, and you can add those particular points. So that's all from my side. Anything you want to ask or tell?
Sir, I would like one question I would like to ask.
Yeah.
Like this topic in the world in 2050, we can have both the good and bad things as well. Like crime might increase, the criminals may have a better outlook to do the crimes. So if we decide, like if I started going on the good parts, so is it, am I going on the good part always, or should I?
It's a group discussion. It is a group discussion. One fellow may talk about 1 or 2 points. And even I forgot about entertainment industry, which is a very big industry. Sports, entertainment, you people have not talked about that. So what kind of entertainment and sports do you think are going to be like that time? Today we talk about the games and, this particular gamification stuff is coming up. So what kind of, virtual games we are going to have at that time, and entertainment, how it is going to unfold. So even if you talk about one particular domain and keep talking about that, there's nothing wrong in that.
So, sir, I can talk both good and bad for a particular topic in a GD.
Yes. You can say challenges and opportunities. See, whatever you are saying, good and bad, I call it as challenge and opportunities. If you say technology is going to evolve, so technology is going to give you good also and bad also. Same technology is going to be there with terrorists also. Same technologies, miscreants are also going to use something like that.
Sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Right.
Sir, I want to ask one thing. Sir, मेरा introduction कैसा था sir? मतलब
introduction ठीक था आपका, लेकिन थोड़ा सा elaborate कर सको. See, introduction is all about giving the structure.
Yes, sir.
Not the points. So you did not give the structure, you gave the point, though it was a very relevant point, environment.
Yes, sir.
Introduction is about giving the structure, that guys, how the discussion should go. So friends, my name is Aniket and I take the opportunity to initiate the discussion. Friends, the topic is very, very interesting, very generic topic and thought-provoking topic. So let's visualize the world 30 years down the line. Friends, I think challenges and opportunities have always been there in the world. So let's talk this entire thing, what challenges and what opportunities are going to be there for us in next 30 years. So in challenges and opportunities, we should divide entire discussion into a couple of verticals. We should divide in environment. Don't you think challenges are going to be there to meet the environmental issues? Yes. Opportunities are going to be there? Yes. Similarly, let's talk about technology, let's talk about health, let's talk about education, let's talk about, give some kind of structure, you know, which they appreciate. Yes, that okay, this guy has given this structure. And then, you know, others. Now I request each one of you to depending upon your expertise and depending upon your knowledge, please now give your inputs for these particular verticals. And then somebody starts speaking, like when Tao is talking about, you know, this is going to be, I think she talked about the robots, smart houses, speech recognition. Maybe she can put that under the technology part. She's talking about the technology. Somebody's talking about environment. Somebody's talking about communication. Somebody's talking about, you know, other domains. So health domain. So you people are talking about those points, but without any structure. So your discussion goes haywire. Your discussion goes in any direction, right? Concluding that becomes difficult. So how shall you conclude then?
यस सर, ऐसा होता है ना सर कि जैसे डिस्कशन करने वक्त जो पॉइंट आया, जो वैलिड लगा वो बता दिए, तो वो डिपेंड, वो फिर कैसे मतलब स्ट्रक्चर पे नहीं भी जा सकता है ना, जैसे भूल भी तो जाता है, जैसे अभी एक पॉइंट आया वो स्ट्रक्चर पे नहीं है तो आगे जाकर भूल गए तो वो पॉइंट तो छूट गया ना, तो उसमें बोल देते हैं।
भूलेंगे नहीं, you can add that particular point somewhere or you can create a new vertical actually, not a problem.
Yes sir.
Generic you can give, but later on you can create another vertical.
Okay sir.
See, a focused mind, organized mind, always organize the things. You guys should have organized mind. You should organize the things in your mind. Okay, let's do this. It should not be unorganized thoughts. Thoughts are unorganized, you know, divergent, but then you have to converge it. Your divergent thinking, you have to converge into some categories. Okay, this idea is coming, this idea is coming, this idea is coming. Let's converge it into some particular categories. Something like that you have to do. And if you stick to one or two categories, it is very good. And that is what I want. I want 6 people discussing something. I don't want one fellow discussing everything and everyone discussing one thing. I don't want that. I want people discussing one particular topic and really giving good points, another giving another good points, another giving something like that I want.
और वो सर जो जैसे जो चीज पता नहीं कि होगी या नहीं होगी, बट हम लोग बात करते, जैसे हम लोग बात किए थे मार्स पे घर बनाने का, वो सब बोल सकते हैं मतलब।
You can always see, it is all about, you know, in future it is speculation only, but speculation in a scientific way. If you're saying that okay, we will have colonies on moon, so before you said colony on Mars, maybe you can say colony on the moon. Maybe you can say we will have some kind of infrastructure on the moon in next 30 years, right? Something like that you should always talk about. Fiction movies you must have seen, so you can always incorporate things from that fiction movies, right? Anything else?
Yes, sir.
Bring positivity into the discussion, bring the challenges and give the solution to the challenges. So whenever you say some challenge is there, try to give solution to that and then end up the things on positivity, right?
सर अगर सब लोगों ने 2-3 लोगों ने एक साथ स्टार्ट किया तो फिर स्टॉप हो जाना चाहिए या अपन कंटिन्यू करना चाहिए?
जो पेस पे दौड़ गया उसको स्टार्ट कर देता है वो. So the person who runs at a pace in the starting will introduce. Others who are not running at his pace should stop. Right? You should let him speak. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, chalo, then I ended up the discussion here only and we meet again. Thank you.